Yeah, usually I don't bother to graph before I solve, but sometimes it's worth it if the graphs are easy enough. If there's no solution, you can tell right away. So our first line looks like that, and our parabola shifted up one looks like that. And oh my goodness, that was lucky. It bounces right off there. We can kind of see that our solution should be 1, 2. Huh, that was easier than expected. So the graph worked really well, but usually it is not so nice. We can confirm it just using simple substitution. You set it equal, and you solve this, and the thing does factor, and look, there's that double root that we expected, and when you plug it back in, the y is 2 times 1 is 2. So you just get that 0.12. I was hoping for one of these they would give it where you'd have two solutions and you just have to, like, if you finish the factoring and you got an x minus 1 and an x plus 3, let's say, and it met in two spots when x is 1 and negative 3, and you'd have to plug the 1 in to get the value of y. When x is 1, y would be something. When x is negative 3, y would be something. And your parabola and your line would meet at two spots, and it would be a little bit more interesting. But it didn't happen in this one. But that's okay. Okay, so let's do a quick sketch, because sometimes if they don't meet, you can see it right away. So there's our line, and then our half parabola is shifted left 2, and looks like that. So it looks like they do meet. So we'll do it, and not perfectly, so we'll just go ahead and set them equal to each other and solve. We'll square both sides. So remember, when you square the left side, you have to write it out. When you square the right side, it'll undo the square like we planned. And then you just solve this quadratic. Yay. Try to, oopsie, that's a minus 1. So you try to factor that, and you've got 4 to make 1. Something like that. And then you can see that they'll meet when x is a fourth and when x is negative 1. And then you look at your picture and like, wait a second, there's only one. The other one we're getting because of like that phantom half parabola, because when we squared both sides, you need to check. So we need to check for extraneous. That negative 1 is not going to work. When you plug it back in, you'd get negative 2 plus 1 equals the square root of negative 1 plus 2. So you're getting negative 1 equals 1, and you're like, no, it doesn't. So that one is out, but the 1/4 lives. And then to finish finding that ordered pair, you just plug it into either equation. Yeah, so whenever you square both sides, you run the risk of extraneous solutions, so you need to check. So when the x is 1/4, the y is 3/2, and there you go.